Prodigal replacement testimonies. Hi everyone, I'm Maria Maumela. Thank you for joining me. This video is long overdue. I I took my time to record this video, and I also took my time in releasing it. Um okay, let me start by saying this. Personally, I started to know about kingdom marriage. Well, kingdom marriages have always been there, as far back as Bible times. But I personally began learning about them in 2020 during that COVID year. Your girl had time on her hands. So it was at that time that I was learning about kingdom marriages. And it was late that year in November, late November. That's when God revealed to me who my kingdom spouse is. Okay. And since then, I had been learning. And even with the videos that I had made, I shared a lot to do with my own journey, the journey of others, and also just basically what I've learned, what I've picked on, and what the Lord has revealed to me. Now, let us sit down. Let us reason together. Okay? This kingdom marriage thing is as much as it has been around for long, it is not well known. Okay? It is not something that has been popular. Okay? So I feel we should be careful of saying that this doesn't apply strictly, or only this applies and this doesn't apply. I feel like it's very dangerous. I believe in that if we want to know anything, we should be asking people who are already many steps ahead of us. In Zulu, it is said, indlela ibuzwa kulaba abaphambili, meaning like people who have a knowledge are people who've already been there. They've walked the journey. So personally, I've been studying couples that have joined together in 2019 up till to date. And these couples that I'm saying they joined in 2019, it means their journey started long before that. So those are the couples that I'm following, that I'm learning from, because I myself I'm in the journey. So I cannot now come with rules that are like hard like scripture, and I say this is not possible or this is possible. I'm saying I'm making this video with the utmost respect. Okay, even for those who do not really believe in this, but like I said, I want to be talking testimonies. I don't want to make this video long. But I have to say all that I have to say, and I do not want to rush this. The kingdom marriage journey is still something new, although it has always been around. Okay? Let us make an example with the women in the Bible. Looking at their journey, there's a lot of similarities, but I would like to look at Ruth. Boaz saw Ruth, but that's all he did. He just saw her, he liked her, he never made a move. That's it. So Naomi encouraged, and she was that advisor for Naomi, like not for advisor for Ruth, that okay, if this is what has happened, I want you to go at this function that will be happening, and go there and present yourself. And you'll agree with me. Looking at the story of Ruth, go ahead and read the book of Ruth. Take your time and soak it in. You will see that what Ruth did could be seen as thirsty. In fact, thirsty is nice. That could have been seen as loose, especially for a woman coming from Moab, a pagan country. But she was taking the advice of Naomi. So do you understand? It's not everybody's journey that is different. I feel it's her case that I feel was very extreme. Now, for a lot of you, your kingdom spouse has seen you, they have met you, but that's all there is to it. But now, when the Holy Spirit lays it in your heart to reach out to the person, some people might say, no, you're supposed to wait for the person to reach out to you. Who do you listen to? That is why our relationship with the Lord is very important. Who do you listen to? The Holy Spirit inside of you, or a prophetess you just saw on YouTube, or someone else who's someone else whom you respect? Okay, that's a teaching for another day. I would love to teach on that, on the story of Ruth. In fact, I would love to teach on all of them. But now, back to the topic. So now, let's speak about replacements. So the reason I was pointing out Ruth's story was to say there's always that 3% whose journey will always be absolutely different from all the others. Jesus' disciples were trained by him, but there was one disciple who was trained differently from all the others because Jesus was already gone. And I'm talking about Saul of Tarsus, now called the Apostle Paul. So, do you see? There's always an exception, or there's always something different. With other prophets that we have known, they've chosen women of substance, of character, women in the Lord. But now Hosea had to go marry Gomer. I'm trying to show that there's always a few percentage that will always be different. So let us not pressure ourselves that our journey is supposed to be exactly the same as others. Now, why did I take long to make this video? Because I was afraid that if I came and I said, yes, God does give replacement, you are going to be so happy. You are going to be so happy and so relieved. And just feel, you're going to feel free of this, your prodigal. And you are going to stop praying for them, and you're going to give up on them, and you are going to be living, just expecting a replacement, and you would have lost me. I'm still stuck on that 3%. Like, I feel it's only just 3% of people who will get replacement, but you do not know if you fall into those 3%. So what can you use as a marker? I would love to believe that God has promised you more than just a kingdom husband, more than just a kingdom wife. Perhaps there's a car, there's a house, there's a ministry. Okay? So now, looking at those three, let's increase them. So it's a spouse. God promised you a spouse, a car, a house, a ministry, and a business. 5 things. So now, out of these 5 things, you're waiting on the Lord to deliver, right? So now, especially now at this time, when we see kingdom couples coming together, there is that pressure, unnecessary pressure. Like, everybody's story is coming together. Why is mine? Why do I look like I'm going back? Or why is there no movement in my own journey, in my own story with this person? Chances could be also out of disobedience. This thing of not listening to your heart, not listening to the Holy Spirit unctioning you, that still small voice telling you do this, and you say, but the prophetess said this, but the YouTuber said this person. Okay. So now, if God has promised you 5 things, what can you use as a marker? You cannot now come and say, well, that's it, I'm giving up on this person. I believe, like Maria, I tell you, girl, I'm one of those 3%. I can feel it in my bones. Now, before you start feeling it in your bones, let us talk about these 5 things. My question to you, if you feel you are due for a replacement, I'll ask you, out of these 5 things that God has promised you, how many of them have you received? Receive all of them, so that the only thing standing be that it be the kingdom spouse. When the kingdom spouse is the only thing that's still standing, that is when you can present your case to the Lord. But before that, no, ma'am, no, sir. Before then, I don't think so. You do not have a case. Before then, just keep on doing your life. Just keep on doing your life. Okay, just keep on doing it. Like I always said, any of you who feel disrespected by the prodigals, like space, you do what you need to do to stay healthy. Take care of your beautiful self. Take care of yourself and just move on with your life and just be focusing on other things. Move on to other things that God has put in your hands to do. Okay? When I said move on, don't be clapping and thanking the Lord. I'm not telling you to give up on this person. I know you would love another person. You've just had it up to here with this person. I feel you. Now, talking about replacements, like I want to speak about testimonies. Like I said, I myself am on a journey. So for me to learn or to accept anything, like I feel like I need people who have walked this journey, not someone who's like me, who's on the same journey as me. Like, no disrespect. Okay. Now, I'm going to group these testimonies into two, okay? Quickly. There is a man whom God showed his wife through a dream. Okay? He was shocked. He worked himself through the shock, and after a while was able to tell this woman like, "Hey, God told me that you are my wife." And the woman looked at him like, okay, but in her heart she's like, not in the earth, not the earth below, not below the earth, not in heaven. No way, no way, like no way that's true, no way that's happening. No. But the man told the woman, okay, and then the woman prayed about it. So this man, first of all, before this man told this lady, he pursued her for 3 years. And it's on the third year that he was at the end of his words. And he told her, like, look, I think he did not want to alarm her or sound crazy. So he's like, look, I just saw you as the Lord showed me that you are my wife. It was then that she was able to understand why the guy has been so consistent in his pursuit. Okay, that's the thing about the man who's woke. He will pursue you. He will pursue you. That's the man that's woke. You want to you also want, for some of us have been married before. Now, for me to have been married before, it means I got to see what it means to be pursued by a man with intention. A man that loves you will pursue you consistently. Like, it's just hard to mess up with him. It's just hard to mess up with the person. They will bend backwards to make things work. They will do whatever it takes to get you. They will do whatever it takes to make it work. Now, if your prodigal is breadcrumbing you, being inconsistent and all of that, now we know that you're dealing with someone who's not exactly woke. Or if they are woke, they are not yielding themselves to the will of God, to their purpose. They're still being scared, because saying yes to you is saying yes to the calling. Saying yes to you, it means bye-bye to a life of recklessness. Saying yes to you, it's like saying yes to God. They cannot just leave anyhow. Perhaps they had thought they could just get married and have a girlfriend or girlfriends on the side. That's what they've always thought of. That's what appeals to them. And they know saying yes to you is saying yes to God. And some of you, a lot of you are even prophetic. He knows, like, he's like, whatever that will be happening, you will see it in a dream. You will see them Jezebels in the dream. And like, he doesn't want to be caught up in all of that. Okay, so stop taking things too seriously. It's not just you he's rejecting, it's everything you come with. You come with a demand for him to grow. You come with a demand for her to grow, and to just connect more with God, and to let go of a life of sin. Some people need to be in sin long enough for sin to bite them, for them to see the repercussions of a reckless life. It is then that they will come, and they will come like pretty much humbled, like, yeah. Okay. So now this guy, he told her on the third year. She prayed on it, and the Lord did reveal to her that, yes, this is your person. So now, if this guy had stayed with that truth, not telling her, She could never have brought it to God. So some of you have it in your heart to let the person know what God revealed to you. Do you see how we make things go slow in our lives because we want another person to tell us what to do? Trust in the Lord your God. Trust in the Lord your God. Here I am teaching on kingdom spouse. But guess what? When this teaching is done, it is you that has to go on your knees and say, Father, I'm hearing of kingdom spouse this, kingdom spouse that. Can you also reveal to me my kingdom spouse? It becomes your journey. It's you and God. So you can only just speak to me for about a while. And then the rest of the journey, it is you and God. Do not be afraid of making mistakes in the journey. Do not be afraid. In your mistakes, you are learning, and you can never destroy a good thing. Like you're not that intelligent as to run God's plan. You're not that intelligent. I'm sorry. You're not that intelligent. You're not that powerful. You're not that you're not that bad. Like you cannot really like ruin it and destroy it completely. You're not that good or you're not that bad. It's not possible. Okay. So now this man spoke to this woman and told her, like, God showed me. She prayed and God revealed to her. And this woman got 3 confirmations. Okay. And she still needed time. I think it took her just over a year before she actually accepted to date the guy. So that's a good story. It turned out well. Although during the journey, although there were so many things that prove that this person was her kingdom spouse, every once in a while, the devil will still be whispering things in her ear, making her doubt that this is her person. Okay, that is why I'm saying it's nice to be following up on real people who are going through this than someone who's just on a journey. Do you understand? Yeah. So now this worked out well. Now let's speak about other group. There's other groups of people whom God reveals to the person that that's your person. And that's just the thing. These people, they usually know around year 3. They usually know around year 3. But for some of them, it takes for them to see you. Some of them, it takes for them to talk to you, that some things begin to shift, that some things begin to move. But here you are stuck on this person said this person said that. Now, before you go on and misunderstand me, to say hello is not to pursue a person. Do you understand me? To call a person once is unlike you constantly. Any guy would advise you, if you have any brothers or any male friends, they'll advise you, they'll even tell you that if you, let's say, even if you were in the world, if you like a man, all you have to do is to present yourself, let the guy know in subtle ways that, look, I'm interested, I like you. Because men love the chase, and then you back off and then you wait for him to chase. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? But then the problem then will be if the person is not pursuing, then I think it just means like, okay, like back off, like take a break, like take a breather, leave him alone, like he's not interested. Like if you've given him all subtle signs that you could, like that's it, like that's done. Like for you to just call him and check up on him is you saying like, hey, do you see me? That's it. That's it. Keep it decent, keep it clean, keep it classy. Okay? So now, yeah. So now that's another thing. Like we have to trust that the Lord orders our steps, and we have to trust that still small voice. Again, do not be afraid of making mistakes. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. If anything, you are learning. If anything, you are learning. I'm reminded, I've got so many testimonies, okay? I'm reminded also of this other man whom God told him that that's your wife, but God told him, do not say anything, stay away from her. But he still went on to pursue her. And she started to avoid him like a plague. She started to avoid him like a plague. And God had not yet revealed to her. He never told her what God told him. But it was only over time that God began to soften her heart towards him. Okay, and it was only then that they slowly became friends, and then they began dating, and then he was able to tell her that the reason I was pursuing you like that is because God had told me that you're my wife. Do you understand? So there's a difference in someone who knows who you are and has accepted, because accepting is a process. Accepting is a process, okay? And we should allow each other grace. We should allow each other grace. We come from a society and times where people choose who they want. So here we are. God has already chosen someone for us. So we threw a tantrum and we accepted them. Let's also give them a chance to throw a tantrum. But then now, let's get to it. The replacement. Okay, the reason you clicked on this video. The replacement. Does God replace a prodigal? Yes, God does replace a prodigal, but like I said, it's only for the 3%. Otherwise, some of you are gonna be happy and even throw a party. Like, no. Yes, God does give a replacement. A replacement will come when God has revealed to the person, like, this is your person, and they refuse, and they still go on and they choose the counterfeit. Okay. There's a story of also a woman whom she was engaged, about to marry this other man, after this guy had consistently come after her in panic mode, saying, you cannot marry this man. I'm telling you, you are my wife. God revealed this to me. And she kept on rejecting him. And then God started giving her a series of dreams. God did not let her rest. She started getting all these dreams and she was just kicking them like left, right, and center, just being persistent, like, well, she wants who she wants. And she decided she was gonna marry this man. She was going forward with the wedding. You know what happened? God made it clear to her, like, look, I ordained marriage. If you want to go on to marry this person, then I will bless the marriage. But know that the blessings I had for you are in that marriage with that person. So you can marry who you want. I will still bless the marriage, but you will not find the joy and contentment and the blessings that you would have found in the other person, because that's how I had destined things to be. You will still be happy, but you will not be as happy and not as content. And the blessings I had reserved for you in that marriage, you will forfeit them, because they are tied to the work you need to do with that person. There's so many things tied to that person. And she said she thought about it, and then it was a lot, and she had to call off the wedding. It was a lot. So that's why I'm saying it's only 3%. I'm telling you, God does tell these people, like, hey, if you do not choose this person, I'm going to find a replacement for you. God does tell them. And yes, there are those that are stubborn. They'll still go on with the person and get married and have children, and things don't go right. And then they will leave the marriage, and then they will try to get their kingdom spouse back. There are many stories of people who said that this person said God called them and told them that they were my person, but I didn't believe them. I went on with my life. But then when I realized that they were telling the truth, when the Lord finally revealed to me that they really are my person, the person was already gone, or they've already shut the door on my face. That's why I'm saying use the other promises as a marker. When everything God has promised you has already been delivered and the only standing thing is the person, then you can present your case to God about the person and say, Lord, I have everything. I have the blessing. Where is the person? And at that time, I'd even advise you, do not pray alone. This is a big thing. Excuse me. When God has delivered on all the promises, have people who pray with you on this one. Because now you are praying for you to be sure to let go of everything. And for the 3% who are getting a replacement, to the 3% whom your person is just stubborn, to that 3%, the replacement that is coming to love you. They are coming to love you like they have a point to prove. They will prove to you that this person was just that, a part of your dreams. And they will show you love that is real, love you can see, love you can feel. They will they will help you be able to let go of dreams of what could have been with that person, because that's exactly that. Dreams of what could have been. And if they chose not to accept that, then what else can you do? So the replacements are coming to love you with a vengeance. They are coming to love you with a vengeance. You will be pursued. You will feel loved. You will feel treasured. You will feel the way a woman should feel when she's about to get married. A man that loves you will pursue you with all intentions. He'll make his intentions known. Not a man who's going to come and breadcrumb you and be inconsistent, insensitive, um, and being here today, gone tomorrow. No, a man who's going to pursue you like you are the only woman in the world, not a man who's coming to behave like he is the only man in the world. All right. So yes, for you, the 3% that God is going to grant a replacement, I assure you, your heart will be comforted. Your heart will be comforted. And if it's any consolation, you'll feel happy, like to start a clean slate with a new person, not having to deal with issues of the past, because this person will have a clean record with you. So it will be something beautiful for you to hold on to, and it will be like medicine to your heart, like medicine to your soul. The person will fill the potholes that this your prodigal had caused. And do not worry, your prodigal will regret the decision. You have to always remember that we do not choose our spouses. It's God that chooses the kingdom spouses. So yes, it is also God who chooses the replacements. Okay. So yes, um, so yes, God does give replacement for those 3% that I just mentioned, but it's like 3%, guys. So for you, what is a marker? Like I said, look at all the promises that God is giving you. If everything God has delivered on and the only thing still standing is the kingdom spouse, pray about it. Bring your case to God. And if other people come together and pray with you, because now you're about to take a serious step to leave this person behind. And even during your process of waiting, and you feel like the person is disrespectful, is childish, is this, is that, like, you do not have to deal with the person. Like, some of you, like, look, you don't have to deal with the person who does jack in the box. Like, you don't have to entertain such a person. Like I said in one of my previous videos, with the men we've dated, we've always been ourselves and strict, but with these kingdom spouses, we've like been like a little bit too soft, and our standards are still our standard. The person God is bringing us is supposed to exceed our standards. You don't, like, how would you feel and now having to deal with the person who's just delivered well below your exes? I mean, if your exes are well above this person, like who wants to feel like they're getting less than what they bargained for? Okay, so again, let's exercise patience for God to help this person to rise up to be at that standard that is required. You don't have to be there to see their process. You don't have to be there. Okay, you don't have to be there. Just go on with your life. When they're ready, they will come. You don't have to deal with them during their process. You don't have to deal with them during their growth, because you do not know like what tomorrow holds. And you want to concentrate on other things. There's more to you than this man. There's more to you than just the kingdom marriage. There's still other things, your career, your ministry, okay, your purpose, your calling. That's what you want to be working on. So yes, God does give replacement, but it is something that is very rare. These people do change their minds last minute, and there are many who changed their minds after the person had turned their back. Then the Lord made it clear, crystal clear to them. So that's why you need to be patient and know, like, when you're walking away, you've given the person a fair chance. For me personally, I had made a decision a long time ago that with regards to relationships, I will never leave any relationship without closing the door. That's what I've always done. So even with all my exes, just in my life in general, I've never had any man that I can say I look back and my hand or my heart is still reaching out to them. No. Every man I've ever dealt with, I gave them a fair chance. I gave them more than a fair chance. I gave them enough chance that suited my heart. There are people worthy of a second chance, there are people who are not, okay? But now with the kingdom spouse, I realized that I cannot come with my old ways of dealing with things. But then it still doesn't change that I'm still a woman, and I need to be respected. I'm still a woman. I want a man that's going to love me, to respect me, to make me feel special, to make me feel wanted, to make me feel like I'm needed, and not someone who's going to make me feel like I'm just a number, or someone's going to make me feel like an afterthought. I am more than that. There is more to me than that. Okay? Let us not also look for a worth out of these prodigals. Like, we know our worth. We know our worth. This is not the first men. These are not the first women you are dealing with. You know what it is to be loved, what it is to be cherished, what it is to be appreciated. So do not lower your standards down for this person. You're expecting a man of character, a woman of character, someone who will love you, who will respect you, someone who will cherish you, someone who will make you feel special. Okay? You want a relationship that's enviable. That's the kind of things we are looking for. Anything else that doesn't look like it, like, look, you have permission to just walk away and leave the person. Go on with your life. Going on with your life, I'm not saying go find another person. Like, I believe the people who have come into this journey, into the kingdom spouse journey, they've already given up their will to choose for a spouse, and they've given that to God. So if the person whom God has chosen for you is not cooperating, like I said, a time will come. Like, I've already given you more or less what you can use as a marker. Like, okay, now I'm presenting my case before God. Like, I'm getting ready to move on. I know a lot of you will be happy to get a replacement. I understand. I get it. So this is not an easy journey, and it's definitely not for the faint-hearted. So for the 3% who will get a replacement, yeah, those who have been through the most will definitely love to be in your shoes. All right. Yeah. So yeah. And not all kingdom marriages are a hard journey, by the way. The kingdom spouses who just are both in the Lord and they meet and things just go well. It's not everybody's journey which is hard. So don't think that when God reveals to you a kingdom spouse, you're going to go through all this drama. Perhaps you're going to find someone who's just gonna, be on the same page, and y'all are just gonna move forward. Okay. Yeah, I believe that I've answered questions. Anything I did not answer, just feel free to ask. You can email me, or you can just leave a comment on the comment section. Yeah, guys, that's all that I wanted to say. So thank you. God bless.